Alright, I can do this better.
Okay.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, that was terrible.
That's good.
What are
Oh.
we starting with this week?
What are we
Do you know what we're
starting with this week? Yes, I know what we're starting with this week. Do you want me to say?
Just get you. Yeah.
We're starting this week with the disaster artist.
What? The disaster artist.
Yes.
Would you like to tell our listeners what the disaster artist is
The
about?
disaster
This
artist.
feels very serious. We've just got one spotlight on us. I feel like I'm investigating. But it's an investigation.
Yes, it's about Tommy Wiseau or Wiseau. I don't know how you
Tell
say
me
it.
why's that?
Yeah, Wiseau. Played by James Franco, and it's about him, and he was a guy in 2003. He wasn't just a guy in 2003. He's always a guy, but in
You did what I did the other week, and you're just
2003.
dragging this out.
In 2003, he wrote, produced, directed, and
starred
starred in. Do you want to say it?
Yeah, I'm just guiding you along because you're taking too long. A minute.
A
this
film
description is
called
taken.
The Room, and it is quite possibly the
Greatest film ever.
best, worst film ever
Yeah.
of all time.
It's also quite funny that it's James Franco starring as Tommy Wiseau,
Yeah.
and he's also directing this film.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I thought that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was like a little
Possibly.
joke,
I think I remember reading something about weeks ago about he wanted to make, well, not weeks ago, but longer than weeks ago,
Yeah.
that he wanted to make this film.
It's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got it out really quick. Yeah, so it's basically about the making of this film,
Yeah.
it's a bit like his life, about why he wanted to make this film, as in Tommy Wiseau,
Yeah.
why he made The Room, and what happened on set while they were making The Room. It's actually also probably been made because I didn't realise until we watched the film that this film was actually based on a book. And I thought, how much of this is real? How much of these stories are made up? Because they're unbelievable, some of these stories. We won't go into spoilers. I reckon we can do this without spoilers.
Yeah, I think we can.
Yeah. But then, if it's based on a book, that's where they've got these stories from. Because basically, there's a guy, Tommy's best mate in this film, Gregory. What's his best mate in real life, and he also stars in this film as his best friend.
Yeah.
Creative. He wrote a book years after. He didn't realise how popular The Room got until he started seeing stuff. So he wrote a book about what happened with it.
Yeah.
But this film's to explore that. And that'll do for a description. If you haven't heard of it, then what are you doing with your life? We're hosting a movie podcast if you haven't heard about this film.
Yeah.
You want to start what you thought about this film?
Yeah.
Disaster Artist, not
Yeah.
Room. We'll get to that after.
It was good. It was a good film. Do you know what? I actually wished that I hadn't gone in having everyone go, "Oh my god, it's amazing. It's going to be nominated for an Oscar, or he will be nominated for an Oscar," because I thought that it was going to be more than it was. It's really good, but if I'd just gone into this...
I completely agree with you with that.
Yeah.
To be honest. Yeah.
It's good. It's a good film. Like, I can't say it's not good, and I can't say that he's not good in it. He's brilliant, but I just mean, I probably thought it was going to be better.
It's a strange one to be up for an Oscar.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's up for an Oscar. We don't know that yet. We don't know.
No, but people are saying
it's a strange thing to be
yeah.
up for any awards. Because it feels like a bit of a piss takey. Like, to have these guys, as in like James Franco and Seth Rogen.
Yeah. And everyone is in this film.
Yeah.
Every
There's a lot of cameos.
is in this film.
Yeah, it's very strange to have something that they've done up for awards.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's up for a Golden Globe for this, as is what's it about Golden Globe, the news. But yeah, I think Disaster Artist it has a lot of attention. It's really nice. It's very nice. I think the thing of this film is interesting. I was surprised about when we went to go see it. Is one, there's quite a lot of stuff before you see him start making this film.
Yeah.
I think it goes a lot more into than I thought it would. And two, it's quite a charming film.
Yeah,
in terms of it's quite it's a weirdly inspiring film.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was just to be I thought it would just be about taking the mick out of this guy completely.
Yeah.
Because he's an absolute nutter.
Yeah.
Instead, it kind of makes you sympathise with him quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you kind
that
don't...
was the other thing as well. I just feel a little bit like... And actually, I probably feel a little bit better about it now because I didn't realise that he was like going on talk shows and stuff. And I know he's made some money off of this film now. but I almost felt like I feel a little bit bad laughing at him because like not like there's something wrong with him, but like socially he's not like he's completely an not awkward, but like he doesn't quite know how to behave socially, and I actually felt a little bit at times like I shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah, but it's really hard. But I don't think. I mean, it's different. I think if it was like, it's not people. I don't think people are entirely laughing at him in a nasty way. I think the whole point is that you're laughing at him because like I said, because he's so strange.
Yeah.
In the same way you laugh at Carl Pilkington. Like I don't think it's ever nasty, but some of the stuff.
Yeah, but Carl Pilkington totally plays on it.
Well, I say that conversation for another time.
I'm not saying it's not real, but he isn't an idiot. He can tell that all his money is coming off of him being silly.
Or maybe I don't know if I don't know if I would say that Tommy's an idiot necessarily. I think he's very strange. But
no,
I don't ever feel like it's...
I wasn't saying he was an idiot. I'm saying that you laugh at Carl Pilkington like for his like how he behaves socially, and that he's an idiot. I'm not saying that's the reason that you laugh at him, but I'm saying it's still socially why you. I'm not saying they behave in the same way socially. I'm just saying that is why you laugh at them.
I know, but like I guess it's also different because he's very aware of this film, The Disaster Artist. He's very aware of all the stuff. He's been on like press with him entirely.
That's what I just said. I didn't know that though.
No.
But yeah, I feel that I kind of wish I knew that first, because then I would have felt more like I should be laughing.
Yeah.
But actually, I just was like, this guy actually.
I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Because I'm a bit like, should we be laughing? But at the same time, I don't think there's anything in the film that makes us laugh because, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny because I think the funniest bits in this film are the scenes of them trying to make the scenes for the room. Like the best bit is them on set trying to do stuff. I think that's quite funny. But and his performance.
Yeah.
I guess there's, I don't know. Yeah, but this is the thing of it. I get that, but it's never like it never puts him in a bad light. Other than there's one scene in this film, I think that probably puts him in. I'll just say, but it's not a spoiler. Yeah. That makes him look like an arsehole. Other than that, I don't think he looks like an arsehole at all. I think he just looks like a strange guy, and it kind of makes you feel sympathetic for him because he's got this one dream.
That's exactly
whereas
what I mean. I just felt really sorry for him.
Yeah, but maybe you meant to. I mean, maybe this film is because this film is entitled. Like I said, I feel like it is about both of them, like James and Dave Franco, both of them, the characters they play. About them and their dreams, and about the idea of it might not like come across the way you think it will, but you've made your dreams, you've done what you've wanted to do. I think it's more about that, which is weird because I didn't expect it from, like I said again, from like James Franco and Seth Rogen. I didn't expect a film where it was like an uplifting kind of or an inspiring kind of film.
Well, it's kind of like follow your dreams and like it doesn't end up the way that you think it will, but it still was worth doing because it just worked in a different way, which is I
really want to know. I saw something interesting, which is that Tommy Wiseau said that he thought that 40% of Gregory's book written about the room was 40% true, and he said this film was 100% true.
Who said that they thought the book was only 40%?
Tommy Wiseau said he thought the book was 40% true to what happened, and this film, based on the book, is 100% true to what happened.
Amazing.
So classic, but
makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see what in this film is a bit bigged up, because I'd like for it to be, because these stories are insane in the film. Like, some of the bits in set are absolutely ridiculous. And I could believe most of it, but I think, again, it isn't really spoiling it because it's on the poster, but the bit where they watch the film back, I think the reaction from the crowd is too, like, out there. I don't feel like at all that's how it would have went.
No, I was going to say when we were in there, I imagine that people were laughing, and I can imagine them clapping and standing up or whatever. Major spoilers, by the way, totally ruined the film. We weren't going to do any spoilers, but we were just told them the end. But
kind of bits on the poster. I think that bit's, we won't go into detail then, but that's not massively. Like, so the poster is them sat in the cinema and he's looking serious, and Dave Franco's looking.
Oh, okay.
Looking funny.
But yeah, no, I just I kept it a couple of times. I was like, oh my god, turn it down, like tone it down. It was so crazy. Their reaction was just.
Yeah, I didn't buy it.
Were you too over the top?
Because you wouldn't all be like, if you went to, there'd be some people in there would have gone, no.
Yeah.
And there would have been other people that had gone, what is going on? And then everyone would be like, ah, ha, ha, ha.
Do you know what it was like? You know, in films when somebody goes crazy because everyone's laughing at them and they're like, no, and they're like start like spinning or whatever. That's what it sounded like. Yeah. And what it looked like, and they kept doing.
That's the thing. I think that's the only bit in that film I was like, yeah, this is a bit much. Like the only bit I was like, because like on the poster, it's quite nice, subtly done. Like he's laughing next to me, sort of like, why are you laughing? This is meant to be serious.
Yeah.
Whereas in this bit, they're all laughing, and he's like, oh, and then he kind of freaks out. Which again, probably might happen. He probably did walk out, but like, I don't believe that many people were laughing. I believe that like probably like he kept hearing people snickering, and then like Like people were, like, I just said sniggering. People Mars barring. People would keep like sniggering, and then he was just sort of looking around a bit, and it was a bit more subtle as opposed to being like everyone going crazy for it.
I don't not believe that people would have been laughing out loud, but it was just ridiculous. We were like, oh,
Yeah, they built up too quick, didn't they? They're all,
exactly.
I know it was jumping. I didn't trust the whole film, but it was jumping a bit.
No, it was a bit. That was way too much.
Great performances from everyone. I think it was funny.
I was
They're all
just
really
going to
good.
say, yeah, I can understand why everyone's like, oh my god, he's so good in it. He is really good in it. I thought Dave Franco was good. I thought he was fine, but I feel like it could have been anyone. Yeah,
he
and
didn't
also
really, well, his voice was his voice. And
yeah, and also watching The Room, he didn't seem much like that guy.
I think the problem is because they're basing, and this is what I was going to say as well, because he's so Dave Franco played Gregory in this. I cannot remember his second name. Sesestro.
Yeah.
Gregory Sesestro, who was Tommy's best friend. So Dave Franco is playing Greg in this, and the thing is, he seems like a genuinely normal guy, and he seems like he gets pissed at Tommy when he's weird. He seems like a normal person.
Yeah.
Watching The Room, which we'll get into after, he doesn't seem
like a
all like that,
no.
because he is, and again in the film, the disaster artist seems like a normal actor just trying to make his way, and he doesn't seem any like necessarily terrible. He seems nervous at the start.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever come across as like
a bad actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In The Room,
he's a terrible actor.
Yeah, and I think because this is based on his own book and he was involved with the making of it, I bet they're a bit more lighthearted to go, he's a bit of a fucking knob in this in The Room. Like he seems a bit more. They all kind of do. I know you can't
tell because he's acting,
yeah.
not acting. But yeah, no, I don't think he seemed much like how he actually was in the film itself.
I bet he seemed like he'd be a bit more douchey in real life.
He seemed like he'd just be a bit more like
into it.
Not with it in terms of like not with like
not understanding how weird this film is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like I said, he only made a book about it years and years off when he found out how crazy everyone was going over this film and stuff. I think it's strange, and I think that's the problem again with any film that's based on a true story. You don't know how much how bloated it is.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Fake stuff.
It is true. But the rest of the cast I thought were really good, even though it was like just a who's who of comedy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Which actually I think actually worked really well because it was funnier.
Yeah, it was funny having them all in it. Well, because I found out as well it has a massive celebrity fan base, The Room, so they're all probably in it because they've watched it or know about it.
I was thinking as well, it felt sort of a bit like an episode of Saturday Night Live or something, you know, when they have like 10 different celebrities just playing sort of well-known people or characters, and you're like, oh, he's playing him, oh, he's playing him.
Yeah, I wish someone had bigger roles. I wish Bob Odenkirk had a bigger role.
Yeah.
He was funny in it.
Yeah,
Bryan Cranston was quite funny in it.
Yeah.
Second that he was in it. I wonder if that's a true story with Malcolm in the Middle.
It's crazy.
Little Malcolm.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
If he called it Little Malcolm.
I would be surprised. It seemed like I think that probably happened. Just for the fact that he did have to shave his beard off for the bit where he came in a tuxedo and they were all in tuxedos for what we thought was the wedding, and it turned out it wasn't the wedding, and then we just never found out why they were all in tuxedos. So good.
Yeah.
The woman that played Lisa as well, I thought she was so good, and whenever I think back to actually watching The Room, the film itself, I keep thinking it was her, but it wasn't.
Because they look quite similar. They got quite a similar look.
I think she was cast really well.
James Franco, was brilliant. As you sort of told me already, he was. Other than I think some of the lines he said were a bit, some of the lines were just a bit too much.
Yeah, a couple were. Yeah.
Dragged out and.
Yeah.
He did a funny thing with his eyes.
Yeah.
And he had one quite closed.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I'm watching The Room. I don't think his eyes were like that as much. Were
his
they?
eyes
he had funny eyes and nearly closed, but none of them. They didn't look uneven.
One of them was more uneven than the other one, but you can't see it as much in the film as you can on the posters. On the posters for The Room, it looks awful.
It
looks like he's barely got an eye there.
But in Disaster Artist, his eyes, James Franco does his eyes like he looks like one is massive one.
Well, it was his makeup, I think. It was just one was just way too closed. I think he was holding his eye closed.
Yeah, that's the thing, I guess.
But yeah, no, I think it was a little bit much. But it was good, and it's funny watching The Room after, because I kept thinking, oh God, you really look like James Franco then.
Yeah. Anything else? I've said most of the stuff. It's really hard to say about this film because it's hard. It's I guess the thing that you said about getting awards for this is I don't think it's the same caliber as a lot of films this year, but I think it is very good. I just think it's very hard to say much about this film other than it's quite inspiring in terms of in a strange way.
Yeah.
In terms of the message just getting across about whatever you make, if it's got a response, it's about it being like it's gone down in history and it's nice to sort of it's cheered people up. It's had like he even says it like I don't actually know I won't say it 'cause it's a spoiler. Yeah, he says something about it towards the end of the film, like at the very end of the film, like Greg, the Greg character.
It's quite nice because he gives such a good performance, and obviously it's a different kind of film than you would normally see. Obviously, we don't know if it will be nominated for anything, but say he was nominated for an Oscar.
Well, it's nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
For a comedy.
Yeah. But I don't mind it so much because it's nice to have a different type of film in there for once. But equally, if no one had said it to me before I went in, would I have come out thinking that needs to be nominated for stuff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know about that. Probably not.
No, it's one of those ones again. It's about the subject. It's probably more for the nomination than anything else. Same with Detroit because Detroit, I don't think this should be nominated.
Oh, because what? Because you mean they're true stories?
Because Detroit, I meant the subject. I'm saying the subject matter of the film seems to get more attention than the film itself.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying, like for example, like Detroit because I saw Detroit.
Not Detroit.
No, but like I'm saying with Detroit, I didn't think it was anywhere near the same level as any other film that Catherine Bigelow's done. And yet, because of the subject matter, I think it would get more attention. Because
it was her, automatically in your mind you go, oh, is this going to be another Oscar-worthy thing? Yeah. But and also I think obviously because the cast was just ridiculous. It was just, there was just so many people in it. I think that's another reason why people go, oh yeah. That should definitely be nominated. But no, I don't think I have anything else to say about that.
No, it's much. Do you want to give it a score out of 10?
7.6.
I'll go 7.8. I'm going a bit high because it's very good. It is very good, but yeah, it's again, it's not one that
good. It's not very, very good.
It's funny, but then that doesn't.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's
hard to say. Go watch it. It's
funny, but again, I've just seen so many people going, "Oh my god, funniest thing I've ever seen." I'm still laughing. Oh, I was crying the whole way through with laughter. Oh, I didn't hear it all because I was laughing.
I didn't laugh so much. I laughed at the room. I laughed at the room more.
Yeah.
Which is quite ironic.
Yeah.
Should we do our...
One thing I would say while we're sort of in the middle of reviewing Disaster Artist and The Room separately is I can't decide whether I wish I'd watched The Room first.
Probably because you would have had it. There's a lot more hints of stuff in Disaster Artist so like the bit with the glass with the water going, it's like, oh, it's sexy glass, and then in The Room they use this glass panel for all the sex scenes. And it's clearly
so I can't decide whether what I would have rather have seen first.
Probably before, but we just watched the 4 films we're reviewing in this podcast. We just watched in the last 24 hours. So
that is Oh my gosh, yeah.
Less than that, probably in the last 12 hours. We watched them last night.
4 films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you counted up to 4.
Jeez, yeah, gosh.
You just think of the 4 films in your head.
It's just been moving. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't know.
Probably before, but we watched it after because we forgot to watch it until we watched Disaster Artist.
Like, oh crap, we've seen it tonight.
But it was kind of like, we watched Disaster Artist, we watched the making of the film, and then we watched the film at the end after the film had ended.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't hate the way around we watched it, so I'm not sure whether I would have. I don't know.
All right.
But yes.
Let's move on to our review of The Room. I don't care if it comes in 2003. We're going to review it now.
Yeah, why not? I wish that we had just come across this film one day and we'd heard about it because obviously it's well known for being terrible, but I wish we'd just heard about it and thought, oh, we'll put it on because everyone talks about that film, and not known that it was terrible.
I heard about it a bit last year. Not how terrible it was. Well, I didn't know it was going to be like this.
Yeah.
I heard about it because I heard that not last year, maybe whenever Room came out, as in Brie Larson film.
Yeah.
When that came out, everyone was like, "Oh, not The Room," because and people were saying that's terrible, and like we're getting it confused and saying, that's the only time I've ever heard of it.
That's true, actually.
People were saying it's terrible.
I feel like I might have heard of it before, but I never bothered with it. I feel like I probably have heard of it, but what I mean is, I just wish that we had put it on and been like, "Oh, what's this?" That would have been brilliant.
Well, we got to do it with Kidnap a little bit. I mean, I know we watched a review for it, but that was pretty. That
Kidnap,
was something
Kidnap
special.
is Oscar worthy next to the room.
That's the next one they're gonna do. They're gonna do a Disaster Eyes for Kidnap next. That'd be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Kidnap, go watch that because it's genius.
That is also terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about. Right,
Yeah.
so this is my review for the room. I've written some notes down here,
Okay.
and I'm gonna let you know I'm ready.
Okay.
Tommy is electric in every scene
Yeah.
and completely unpredictable,
Yeah.
and he's fantastic for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Took over every shot he was in.
Yes.
Couldn't take my eyes off of him.
That is true.
This is a feminism film
Yeah.
entirely.
Yeah.
A strong female lead
Yeah.
who takes a stand and doesn't want to talk about anything.
She
doesn't ever want to
no,
talk.
she doesn't want to talk.
Every conversation has complete respect for gender.
Yeah.
It captures the mundane.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How often it's just what I mean by that is just how often it shows America carrying a ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't see that in films. You should.
You should always see
carrying
people
American
carrying
footballs.
American
It's just
football.
and then
I
just suddenly
agree.
throwing it around.
Yeah. In tuxedos.
Yeah. And then everyone comes in out
for
and
no one's
sings.
wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they mess up their words. It just feels so realistic.
Yeah.
I think that's
That's an excellent review. I think it's
the ambiguity.
yeah.
We don't need to know where any of this goes.
No.
We just need to know
We
that.
always say that films really spoon feed us the information, and what I like about The Room is that I had no clue the entire time from start to finish what the hell was going on.
Yeah. Oh.
It's rare.
I don't know what happened with her mother and her illness. I don't know what happened with the fucking drug deal.
I have a list of my favourite bits. Shall I give you those first?
Yeah. And also
That's
one
well
last
done.
bit for my review.
Yeah.
As a director, I don't think he's afraid to show love on the screen.
Yeah. 4 times.
Yeah.
4 to 5 times. Yeah.
He embraces the bareness of it.
Yeah.
That's my last bit.
With
And that was my review for it.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah,
I think
it
it's
is.
spot on.
Spot on.
Mm.
Give me your favourite scenes.
So, my favourite bits are not necessarily scenes, just either things that people said, or anyway, it's just my favourite bits. This is an obvious one, but the mum being ill, just dropping that in, and that never ever coming back, and her saying,
It's
"Don't worry
definitely-
about it. I'm sure you'll be fine." But she's definitely got breast cancer, but she'll probably be fine. I love that bit.
And she uses the word definitely.
Yeah.
I've definitely got.
Yeah, I've definitely got it. I've got the test results. I've definitely got it. Don't worry about it. I don't talk about it.
Oh.
My next favourite bit was something we actually didn't talk about after, but when he said, "Oh, we've got an announcement. We're expecting a baby," and they were like, "Whose baby is it?" And she literally said, "There is no baby. I just said it to make things more interesting." And I feel like he accidentally wrote that down in a note somewhere, and someone thought it was part of the script.
Because I think then she forgot about it and it never came up again.
Never came up again. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, Greg asked him
He,
who's
well,
the
yeah,
baby.
he
and,
asked,
oh, well, that's. Yeah, and then she was like, well, she didn't tell him it was baby,
No.
did she? And then
No, it never was brought up again.
he never told her.
There is no baby.
She never told him that it wasn't true.
I just said it to make things more interesting because things aren't kicking off enough. Brilliant. Absolutely
They're
brilliant.
expecting.
Yeah. The guy falling into the bins fell over nothing. I don't know
That's
why.
amazing.
And then it looked really serious. It looked like he was like in a really bad way and he was going to have to go
Which
to
guy
hospital.
fell over again? Was that a new guy?
It was the guy who...
Because it wasn't the psychologist, because he tripped over and
No.
the camera went at a completely
Yeah.
different angle.
Yeah, it was the guy who was eating chocolates, whole chocolates
Oh,
on his
that guy,
girlfriend's
yeah.
neck. That's a
The
joke,
friends
isn't it?
that just kept.
Oh, so
running in
funny.
and
Just
running
kept
out.
turning up, just
To their
using their
homes.
house. Because do neither of them have homes? Why are they having?
Well, how's
sex
they
on their
getting? How are they
couch?
getting in? Is the door unlocked?
Well, yeah, it must be. Honestly.
Do they all live in the same apartment block? I think they do.
Yeah,
'cause
they all
said,
live in the same building.
why is it not
Why
called
was
the
it called the
apartment?
apartments? Yeah.
The room.
Oh, God, the room.
Is they not
yeah.
all in one room?
And it doesn't look, yeah, exactly. And I also loved the combination of real sets and fake locations, like of when they were filming actually outside, and then they filmed in a fake alleyway.
Oh, the rooftop.
and
I'm
then a
confused how
fake
the rooftop was filmed in the alley because it was on a roof. And I know it was a green screen around
I
it, but
don't
they put,
know.
but it had a wall as if it was up.
That was one of my other favourite bits. How every time they walked off of the rooftop to go back downstairs, there was obviously no stairs in there because it wasn't
It's just like a
actually.
shed.
Yeah, and so they just like all got in the little shed bit and closed the door, and one sort of like crouched down like they were going down the stairs.
What was the line where he started whispering at the end of it? He shouts
Oh, yeah,
and whispers.
Oh, I can't remember. Or something about all of my life.
You've ruined my life.
Yeah,
Something like that.
something like that. Oh, something
I
like that.
don't understand. It's really weird because you know how bit you feel like when we watched that scene before it was dubbed.
Yeah.
Why do his lines feel like they're out of sync?
I don't know.
But no one
it's
else's does.
It's like when he talks, it's like he says something and then he starts thinking about something else halfway through, and they just all come out
But he
weird.
looks like it's dubbed. It doesn't look like
I
it's going
know.
to his mouth, whereas everyone else does.
I know. It's like he was speaking a different language to everyone else that they had to find a. It's hilarious.
Oh, hi, Tommy. I didn't know.
Yeah. That was another one. How every time someone enters a room, they go, "Oh,
Oh,
hi,
hi.
whoever
Oh,
you
hi.
are. Oh, hi, Lisa. Oh, hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. What else? Oh, when Mark like flipped his lid and tried to put his friend over the side, and he was just like, but there was no way he was ever going to be able to lift him, and then he just
And
went,
then the green
"Oh,
screen was really funny. The lighting on that bit.
sorry about that." And it was just like, just apologise.
He went really close to him. I think they're going to
Yeah.
start kissing.
I know.
Oh.
There's a few times when I thought people were going to start kissing.
Christ almighty.
What was that? Oh yeah, and then can I say what happens at the end? Am I allowed?
Yes, this is a spoiler one.
Oh, okay.
So
When
why
he,
not? Spoilers. There you go.
Spoilers.
You're all good.
When he shoots himself in the head, why did they come back for a start? So they were so far away. There's no way they would have heard a gunshot or anything. How they just
Well, they're only upstairs, weren't they?
Huh?
They were upstairs. They could have had that.
Oh, okay. Alright, fair enough. But then they were going to leave, and then they just came back again. I like that.
Yeah. Why did they come back again?
There
They
was
said
no-
something. They
they-
said something to come back again. I
No, they
didn't know
said
this.
leave his little man boy with him. We'll leave him, and then they just came back
Casting.
again.
I'm confused. So didn't
That's
they say
amazing.
so obviously he's over 20. The actor
Yeah.
playing this kid who's
Yeah.
so didn't they say he's 16?
Yeah, something.
And he was doing drug deals like
Yeah.
with a gangster.
Again, never came back again. Threatened with
That's
a
so
gun,
funny.
and then that never.
That's quite funny.
Yeah.
It was Zac Efron in Disaster Artist to play this guy just
It was-
because
he
he's
was
so
really
fired
good.
up, and it seems like in the film because that guy seems really fired up,
Yeah, he does.
and no one else is
Yeah, he
like.
does. He looks completely out of place.
Is that where he got the
like
gun?
that.
It's the same gun prop. I'm pretty sure. I wish
Yeah.
they'd said about that in Disaster Artist if it
Oh,
was.
yeah, I think it probably
'Cause
is
it looks the same
sort of
one. It's like a really
does, yeah,
shiny
it's a
silver gun.
Yeah.
He pulls out of
Um,
a little treasure box after.
I know. Why was that just on the floor anyway? And
'Cause he freaked them
also
out.
my last one was when they were at the party and he says, "Lisa, invited all of my friends. Good thinking." Like it's a new notion to invite
It's genius.
all of your friends.
There's another
to
line.
your
I was thinking,
birthday party.
it's like, you're my best friend, Greg, and I love Lisa too.
Yeah. It's
Christ.
wonderful. It's
And the repeating of lines he just said about something. I don't want
Oh.
to talk anymore. The amount of times
I don't want to
people
talk
say the same
about
stuff.
it.
I don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it. What are the
Uh,
other ones they always say?
I can't. He's my best friend.
He's my best friend.
Tommy's
My
my
future
best
wife.
friend.
She's
Yeah,
my future wife.
She's my future wife. She's a robot. Oh my god. One day we're going to
Yeah.
see the genius of this film.
I can't
She's
believe
a robot.
It's so. In fairness, it's so bad.
She was.
The way they talk about women in it. Well, the way they talk about each other is
Women
hilarious.
change their minds all the time. Men don't.
Oh,
Men
the
think of
summer.
a thing and they do it and they follow through. But women, they change their minds
Oh, that's
all the time.
oh god.
Hands down, sex scenes were the best bit though.
Oh fucking
Oh,
hell.
that's.
That was too
I want to
much.
know.
Why
I
is that
have
not
to
the biggest
know.
thing of
I
that?
have to know if he commissioned those songs or not. You're
How is
my
that not the worst
rose,
thing?
you're
Watching
my
that by the
rose,
third scene, I was
you're
like,
my
for fuck's
rose.
sake, is this going to keep happening? Honestly,
It was so
It was
funny.
so long and uncomfortable to watch.
When you think it's about to end, and then it just goes on to like another verse of the song, and then the bridge, and then the chorus again.
Yeah.
Oh,
What's quite funny
so
with the
good.
Disaster Artists as well, it fits in, going back to that, is they just, the way they all talk on set in that film when they're acting, honestly, they make it, it just feels like they're the viewers going, why the fuck are you doing this?
Yeah.
What is this happening for?
Yeah.
Like, why are you trying to have sex with her in her chest?
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like
He
this,
was
like
so
that.
high up.
His arse wasn't out as much as it was at that. I swear it wasn't.
No.
He was
it
high up,
wasn't.
but it was covered up in the room.
Yeah, quite
And
a lot.
he
Yeah.
filmed it with his arse out. Or did they finally get him? I can't remember if in the Disaster if they finally got
No,
him
I
to cover
don't
his
think
arse.
they did, but they maybe just didn't include it in the film.
Yeah.
He probably
Good
did
point, they
it
could've
on
cut
set, but
it.
they probably cut
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They all took the mick out of him, but to be fair, the editing, some of the shit in the room isn't.
Yeah.
They could have. I know they couldn't really entirely saved it, but they could have done some
Not
stuff
much
with
you
it.
could have done.
I don't know. I mean, he gets blamed for all, but I think it's horrendous from everyone, to be honest.
Yeah, the whole cast are terrible. Like, there's not one redeeming
But I
performance.
know the lines
or
are
even
bad, but
slightly.
still.
Yeah, I know you can only do what you
But I
can
guess
with
they
what you
hired
have,
random
but-
people, didn't they? as well. Like, they're just the interviews for the job. Oh, so funny. All right,
They
should we
seem like they had a lot of people to audition though, but I mean,
score for The Room?
10
10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. There you go. Go
10
watch
out
it.
of 10.
Go watch it because.
Don't you think it seemed a lot more dated than it actually is? It felt
Yeah,
like
because-
way older than 2003.
Because that's what acting was like a lot of the time. It looked like it was in the 90s. But that's
Yeah.
also because they all had weird fashion sense.
Yeah, it was odd. It was
Because
very
they're all kind of.
strange.
I guess it was near the night. Yeah, but bear in mind, I think wasn't it filmed in 2001? Didn't they say? I'm pretty sure it started filming in 2001.
Yeah,
so
you're
to be
right.
fair, it's very close to.
Yeah. Yeah, true.
And
Actually.
I'm pretty sure fashion doesn't just change on the decade anyway.
No. I was. Yeah, actually, a couple of the things in there I was like, oh yeah, I used to have stuff like that.
Some of the people they chose. So they got the guy from Hunger Games in
That
Disaster
was
Eyes.
brilliant casting. That was
'Cause he looks
such
like a man
great casting. Yeah, I think the Disaster Artist, they absolutely nailed the casting.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Christ, honestly.
Oh dear,
All right.
it is funny.
Ooh wee. So
Woo-wee.
go watch them both. Maybe go watch The Room before watching the
Yeah, I'd
Disaster
watch The
Eyes
Room
because you'll
before.
understand a lot more Easter eggs. Because I
Yeah.
think that's probably stuff we definitely missed out.
Yeah,
You can enjoy it without watching The Room, but you should
definitely
probably watch it
yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of them are worth watching anyway. 'Cause it's interesting, just hilarious and
Yeah, and it is worth watching for James Franco's
performance.
because he's
Yeah.
very good in it.
Yeah. I watched a little bit behind the scenes earlier of him
Did you?
directing it while he was
Oh,
on
yeah.
set. It was quite interesting. It must be really strange playing,
It's
like
really
doing
fun-
this,
yeah.
doing that, and also it was really weird how he was
Yeah.
telling his brother what to do.
I feel like I thought everyone hated James Franco. Is that wrong?
Yeah, I don't know where you ever got that from.
That's wrong, is it?
I don't know anyone ever hating James Franco. I mean, I've not heard anything to do with people disliking him.
I
More
thought
the
there
other
was a
around.
period in time where everyone was like, "No, he's an idiot." Maybe I'm wrong.
God knows, I think people really liked him. And everyone loved him in Planet of the Apes as well. And then
Yeah.
then you had thingy hours, 700 hours, 700. What's the film called? Where he gets his leg stuck. About the real guy who got his leg stuck. I can't remember what it's called. 72 hours.
Why can't we think what that? 172 hours. No.
100
127 hours.
127 hours, I think that is right. I can picture it on
Yeah.
the poster.
Yeah, 127.
72 hours? 700 hours?
He'd definitely be dead, actually, in 700 hours.
700
That's
hours?
like... It's like
Wow.
yeah.
Well, you're wrong.
700 hours? Yeah, no, that's like...
Yeah, just saying numbers alright.
a
I
lot.
don't actually
That's
think it
like...
was that.
That's nearly a month. Is that
Fine.
right?
Probably not. I don't know.
4 days.
Should we work it out? All right.
100 hours.
Never mind the podcast, so I'm going to keep
Would
going.
be
I'll
4
have it up
days.
while we're speaking.
Like minus 4 hours.
7, well,
4 days.
well, sure, it's just 700 divided by 24.
Yeah, it'd be like 28 days.
divided by 24 equals 29 days. That's close maths.
I'm very good.
Oh,
at
no, I
that.
just pressed the calculator wrong because I pressed
I
the
used
button.
to be the fastest in my class at my 7 times tables. As
Did
well.
you?
True story. 7, 40, 29, 28, 35, 42. Oh, I'm not going to carry on because I can't remember them anymore.
Well,
And I won the prize.
that'll do for those then. Let's move on
Yeah.
quickly because we've got fucking loads to cover.
Move on quickly.
So we also in the last 3 hours we got to. It's very nice. We got to go watch It's a Wonderful Life for the first time we've ever seen it
Yeah,
at the
which
cinema
is
last night.
terrible.
Absolutely
You should have seen
disgusting.
This well before.
It would have been
this.
nicer if in the quiet moments I couldn't hear Dunkirk blasting to the wall in the IMAX next
Wouldn't
door.
it just?
Um,
Wouldn't it
should we go on
just?
that first? Yeah, let's do It's a Wonderful Life first.
Yeah.
Want to start this review? Want to start off with what you think?
I loved it.
Go on.
I loved it.
Why?
I thought it was amazing. Could totally tell why it's a classic. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh no, it's a classic. You have to see it." And you watch it, and you're like, "I know this is a classic, but I'm bored."
Yeah.
This I was not bored. I think it was brilliant, and I think it's mainly because of his performance. He is so good in this film. He's good in every film, but he is that we've seen him in. He is so good in this, and
What's his
I
name
feel
again?
like
Forgot his name.
Forgot
his name as well.
I've forgotten it as well. And I was
Isn't
thinking,
it
you're going to forget
Jimmy-
it, write it down. Why can't
Jimmy
I remember
Stewart?
his name?
It's pretty not Jimmy Stewart.
Yes.
I'll look it up. While you
Okay.
keep talking, your review.
Yeah, he is so good, and I feel like his performance is like really. I hate saying this because it sounds really douchey, but I feel like it's really ahead of its time.
James Stewart. I was
it's-
right. Jimmy
that's it,
Stewart
yeah.
is it? James Stewart.
It's really, he's just really dialed in, and like I just so good.
Yeah, I'll start with this note. As the first one said, it is not at all it's not entirely what I expected.
No.
I mean, all I know about this film, and I don't want to. Should we go spoilers for this? I mean,
Yeah.
it's been out for.
Do it.
It's been out for.
I think
Yeah.
once the film's been out for nearly 100 years,
You
we
can probably do
can
spoilers.
just do spoilers straight
Yeah.
away.
All right. If you haven't seen this and you want to know what it's, well, no, shut up. Shut up and listen. No, if you want to go watch it, already go watch it because we've already said it's great.
Yeah.
But if you want to know about spoilers, we're getting
just
into it now.
stop here if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, not the whole podcast. I mean, skip over
No,
this. Don't
skip
do
over
that
this.
mean.
We'll tell you when to start again.
It's not entirely what I expected because all I knew about this film before watching it, I'd seen a few bits on. I didn't know. Obviously, there's a bit of this film in National Lampoon's, and there's a bit of this film in.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
There's a bit of this film, and there's something. It's in something
There's other
else.
stuff, yeah, and I didn't realise that's what
No.
what they have
It's
on the
in
TV.
so many things.
Yeah.
It's in so many things.
It wasn't unexpected because other than seeing that and knowing it was about something to do with him never being born, as in the main character George
Yeah.
Smiley, and its attachment to Christmas, none of the stuff I expected was until like the last. I just literally just looked at how far in.
Say?
George, I said George Smiley, didn't I?
Yeah.
George Bailey. Who's George Smiley?
I don't know. I was like, wait a
I
second.
just made that name up. George Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Oh God.
George Smiley is a fictional character. Do you know that?
From.
Trying to look it up now. Oh, An Evening with George Smiley. No, he's not a fictional character. He's fucking. It's the. It's because I've been up at work and the poster, isn't it? George, An Evening with George Smiley.
I don't know who he is.
Isn't he a writer or a?
I don't know.
Does
He
he?
ain't
Is
George
he a
Bailey
composer?
though. Maybe. Anyway, George Bailey. Go on.
Or maybe it is a fictional character. Anyway, whoever George Bailey.
Yes.
None of the stuff happens in this film until that I expected. Like all the kind of like Christmassy stuff happens
Yeah.
in the last half hour,
Yeah.
and this film is 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I was really not expecting that. This whole film is essentially just so the film is
Yeah.
about George Smiley. Not joking. George Bailey, and it's
Yeah.
about it shows bits from him. What's interesting is it starts with this kind of fantasy theme where it's about stars watching down on him and the aunts like listening to a prayer, and then it shows George Bailey
I
for
have
his
to
life.
say, at that moment, I was like, "This is gonna drag. I'm not gonna like this."
What
when
one?
those stars were talking to each other? I was like, "Oh God!" It was really charming for about a minute, and then I was like, "Oh, it's still."
It's really strange. I wasn't expecting that again.
No.
But the stars are watching him and listen to his prayer, and then it shows bits of all of his life, and the whole bit of his quite normal life
Yeah.
is almost 2 hours of the film. It's really strange because then all this kind of fantasy stuff happens in the very last bit of it, and it feels quite like over and done with
I
quite
think
quick,
because
which is strange.
Because when you just hear about this film, it's always people say, "Oh, we watch it every Christmas. It's a Christmas film," and the clips you see from it are the bit him sort of running home or
Yeah.
her saying, "Every time a bell rings."
Yeah.
All of those bits. You don't normally see the other bits in things, and people
No.
don't really talk about them.
Because it's not
so.
Christmas,
No.
is it? So it's just his
Do
life.
you know what?
yeah.
I was actually quite glad about that though, because I felt like I thought, even though I haven't seen this film, I bet I kind of know what's coming the whole time because I've seen so many clips of it and
Yeah.
heard people talking about it. But actually, it was really nice because it felt like something new to me, anyway.
Especially you think about again the things I don't feel new, like the idea of never being like the whole Christmas theme of never being born, and what would happen if you never existed,
Yeah.
and like all the kind of like you don't make you wish and all that kind of stuff
Well,
would
it's
have been
just,
very new at this time, like when
Yeah.
it was released. Whereas obviously now it seems quite
yeah.
repeated, but it didn't, and
No.
the kind of themes that they use are interesting for.
Well, I think
Thank you.
because people do a Christmas Carol, like variations on a Christmas Carol, which is basically like not if you'd never been born, but let's look back over your life
Yeah.
and now you're gonna die. It's a similar theme, isn't
Yeah.
it? I think because that's been done to
Completely, yeah.
death, that you kind of think that's what this would be, but it isn't.
No, it's it's very good. It doesn't. I think the thing is it doesn't age because I think the thing is like you're saying about James Stewart. That's what I just said his name was, wasn't I?
Yeah.
James Stewart. Yeah. I think the thing with him is George Bailey. I keep almost fucking saying Smiley. The thing is, he feels like a Jim Carrey kind of character to me in this. In the sense that he's very like not like a really up fucking crazy Jim Carrey character, but
No.
like a quite subtle, but also
Like
like
Truman
charming.
Show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's charming.
I get that.
He's nice to watch. Like the jokes he makes and like just him as a character is very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. He's just quite springy.
Sorry.
Oh, bloody hell.
So sorry about that.
Choking, Jesus.
I can only apologise.
Yeah, he's quite springy, and some of his lines are really funny, and just the way he acts is nice. And
Yeah.
again, no, I'm bloody yawning. yeah, it's very entertaining just to watch him, and as opposed to like as well, along with the sort of visual comedy they're using this, which is again like when he tips the water off his hat and those kind of really charming bits of comedy, he's perfect to go along with that.
Tips the water.
It's the water, and he goes like that with his hat, and all the water falls off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Little bits like that. And when they're dancing, and then they go down in the pool, and they're dancing in the pool, and all that kind of stuff.
They're done so well. They didn't. I just always think that films like this are going to feel really sort of slapstick and like, oh, that's sweet really and it's charming because it's old. But it didn't. It felt clever and it felt.
It just felt really nice. It just was really upbeat.
Basically,
that's probably why it's a Christmas film. Even though it's only Christmas for the last half hour, is because it's so like charming. And
it's gorgeous. It's just lovely, lovely, lovely. And I just didn't. I don't know why I didn't expect to like it as much. But I think it's because it's one of those ones people go, oh, it's so wonderful. You haven't seen it, so wonderful. I have to see it. It's amazing. Yeah. And so but I think that shows how amazing it is when you go in thinking people big this up so much that it's never going to meet my expectations, and then it exceeds them. Like that's how good it is. Yeah. It's brilliant. He's brilliant.
And I think all the characters he meets, all the kind of little bits. Again, like his life isn't like crazy. Like you're not watching. It's not a lot happens with him until the last half hour.
It's
not
pretty
much.
Dark. Too.
Yeah. All the stuff at the bank. I mean, it's all quite normal stuff, but it's just interesting to watch because you're just watching this man like go. Like, don't be put off by this because it's in black and white and because it's incredibly old. Because if you're not used to watching old films, which I'm going to be honest with, we're not used to watching old films really. No. Or at least I don't know about you. I'm definitely
not. I watched a load like over a time just because I had to for school for uni, but no, I haven't really since. And I think you can easily be put off by them because
for the first 10 minutes, honestly, the bit with the stars might put you off a bit, but then you need to give it time.
Yeah, that went on a bit, but I didn't mind it. And now I know how long it is. I wouldn't mind it again.
Yeah, I think people will be put off by the length of it as well. I think it does feel quite long. And again, we've just watched these 4 films in the last 24 hours, and we've been busy as hell recently. And my eyes were. I didn't fall asleep in it at all, but my eyes were stinging.
Oh.
I think because it's...
They were. You looked like you had been crying when we came out. I think you just got emotional.
I did. So
that's okay.
So cheery.
It did make me tear up actually. And they all came in and they said they didn't even have to say what. My nose is getting really blocked and I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
They didn't even
drowning in your own pool of mess.
Yeah.
Flu.
When they said, oh, we didn't even have to say why. We just said George was in trouble, and then all those people started coming in for the money down. I was like, oh.
Do you know what's quite funny? When they first started coming and put the money down, I was like, that's not £8,000.
No,
that's not going to be enough.
No,
I mean it's nice and all of you to do that, but
sweet,
he's still going to fucking prison.
£350 there. Yeah, no. By the end though.
Well, didn't he get something from? Was it from Sam? Who
gave
him the
got
thing
like 25,000 from Sam. Yeah. So
well, he's fucking quids in then. He's got more than he needs.
That's what they said. He's the richest man in town.
Then he got more from. Then he got obviously his brother came home and it was very nice. All this, like, I think that's the thing. It's all the subplots. It's a lot. Like a lot of old films are quite like minimalistic in terms of like plot and ideas. Whereas this had a lot of stuff with his brother and about. I mean, like a bit was saving his brother and having the ear and. Affection. The stuff that was interesting with an interesting twist. I thought it was going to go kind of twisty when the angel at the end said, "Oh, I dived in to save you," and he's like, "No, I didn't. I dived in to save you." I thought they were going to twist that, and he was seeing stuff in a weird, like, different way.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which he obviously didn't. He was just saying it because he was, "I'm here to save you." And I'm glad they didn't show him with his wings. That was subtle. They just sort of left like kind of crazy fantasy stuff off screen because.
Apart from the beginning when the stars were flashy talking at each other.
Yeah, but I guess they needed that a little bit.
Yeah, they did,
to kind of put the film into like its frame of fantasy at the start. Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about it? All the other characters were really interesting. All the people working in the bank, like, everyone that you saw in his life that he was really charming to were interesting. All the interesting ties.
Did I think that? Sorry, I was thinking.
It was interesting how they tied everything that obviously if he wasn't ever born, all the stuff that would happen if he didn't. It nicely worked. Like obviously with his brother when he fell in the lake, that was an obvious bit, and then you had the bit with the old man who tried to poison the pills and didn't mean to. All those kind of bits, like it's interesting how those all come back and you find out about those. And that's
it was done in a really nice way as well. It wasn't too over the top. It was just like it was enough of a change.
Yeah.
That it wasn't. Yeah. The only thing I was going to say is they changed people's characters quite a lot. Like, they made his mum, like, if you'd never been born, your mum would be a freaking bitch. Yeah. She was horrible.
Yeah, it's strange stuff like that. I guess her son died.
I was going to say her little son died, actually. I didn't know about that. Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. There's nothing I didn't like about it.
Out of 10?
10.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I
I'm gonna
loved
give it a
it.
9 out of 10.
I give it a 10.
Alright.
His performance is
Oh,
so
my.
stunning, and it touched me.
But bear in mind,
so-
these scores still mean not much compared to the other films.
Exactly,
It's just,
that's why I'm going 10.
yeah.
I just
We should
also,
never come
I
back
just
to
also
one, yeah.
gave The Room 10, so
No.
that's how much that means.
Yeah, but The Room is the best film we've ever seen. So, what was the last film we watched?
The last film we watched
In the
was
last 24 hours.
Better Watch Out. Well, in the last 24 hours, in the last 2 hours,
Yeah.
I watched.
Better watch out.
Yeah,
Um,
wonderful.
Wonderful. I'm glad you
No
liked it. I wasn't sure
spoilers.
if you'd like it as much as me. I thought that was a film I'd be like.
No, I thought it was
It might be a bit too much at
No, I
times.
thought it was brilliant.
No,
Go
okay.
for it. Let's not do spoilers
Yeah,
because
okay.
this is new and
Yeah,
we
it
could
can
really
happen.
spoil it.
Yeah.
I actually don't want to say much about this at all
No, other than.
because even I would like to just keep it up to a certain part.
What do you mean? Okay, all I'll say about this then.
Yeah.
The first half hour or so, might be
Yeah.
a bit less than that, isn't very exciting or interesting.
No, it's
and I
slow,
think it's
yeah.
pretty.
It's
It's
standard.
a bit boring. It's a
It's
bit standard. Yeah.
yeah.
Not much. It doesn't feel like it's going to go
No,
anywhere. It doesn't feel.
no.
It feels like it drags. After that point,
Don't say that there's.
I don't know what you're miming. No, I won't. I'm
Okay,
just...
good. We could have just
Amazing.
paused it. No one's here.
No, I know.
But anyway.
No, after the first sort of half hour,
Yeah.
it gets interesting.
It gets very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets very interesting, and I think they're very ballsy with stuff.
Yeah, they
I'll
are.
say that.
They've gone for it, and I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And really good performances too, actually.
Yeah, they're all quite funny,
Really
and
good,
against
yeah.
the two kids from The Visit,
Yeah.
which is I think is
Yeah.
great as well, and
Yeah.
neither was sure of that film. I thought it was brilliant,
Yeah.
and it reminds me of The Visit just because the
Yeah.
attitude of it. It's very,
Yeah.
and it feels like a Christmas film, which is quite funny.
It does. It's
'Cause
really
it's-
strange
'cause
how it
it's-
feels like that.
Yeah.
I think because it's all in a house and the music that they use and it is on Christmas Eve and there's sort of decorations about and stuff. I think.
I will hold the comparison to Home Alone for this,
Yeah.
but I will just say that take out the heart of Home Alone,
Yeah.
and you've got this.
Yeah. Remove the heart. And yeah.
Yeah. No, I really liked it. It was
Yeah.
really funny. Very good.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that actually. I thought I would enjoy it, but I didn't think I'd be like, oh god, that was good.
Yeah. Try and find a way to watch it.
Yeah.
It's only on at certain places, but yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be a fun one to watch at Christmas for the whole family.
We're not saying watch it online. We're not saying
We're not saying
anything.
watch it online. Yeah, find a way to watch it. It's great. That's all
Yeah.
we say. We don't want to get into any more. What would you
No.
give that out of 10?
Ooh, 8.5. 8.6.
8.6.
Yeah.
I'm only 8.5. What you are saying? Because the half hour to me was
Yeah,
pretty
8.5.
boring.
I'll take off a 0.1. Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. All
Yeah.
right. We've already done all 4 films that we watched in a very short time.
How long have we been recording?
50 minutes.
50.
Yeah.
Oof.
I thought we've just gone. We used to try and hide how long we've been doing it for. There's no point. Just say it.
No,
50
they know
minutes.
how long they've been listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you?
That's when they hear that point and 10 minutes in.
Yeah.
50 minutes.
Ooh.
We've changed the order. Well, let's give some. We were going to talk about as well this week. I can't believe we've managed to fit this all in.
I know.
Festive films.
Festive films. Our favourite festive films.
I was just
And
going to
our
talk about them in
worst festive
general, just
films.
interesting
Yeah,
stuff
no,
for
I'm
festive
saying-
films.
I'm saying what are our best and what are our least.
Or just
favourite.
memories of festive films we
Yeah,
could talk
I know.
about.
That's
And
what I'm asking you. What's
Where do
your
you want me to
favourite
start?
festive film?
What's my favourite one?
Yeah.
Do you want
Oh,
one
that's
in
a good
general?
one actually. If you at Christmas time and I said, right, you can pick one film and you can only watch that for Christmas, what would you pick?
Has to be Home Alone or National Lampoons,
Yeah.
probably. Because
Yeah.
they're the ones that I actually do watch, make sure that I watch every year.
I would find it hard because although I don't always end up sort of sitting and watching it from start to finish every year, just because over the years we've run out of time
Yeah.
or like we were all there last year, so we were kind of talking through it and stuff. But I think mine would have to be Santa Claus the movie, not the Santa Claus. Santa Claus
Claus.
the movie,
The movie.
like the old one from the
Yeah.
80s. I think it's 80s.
I've got a list of stuff here.
Dear.
Yeah, I've got a list of different things. I was just going to say, if you like a good old, a nice Christmassy film where it's a train in the snow, travelling across the mountains in the snow,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Like you had a Polar Express.
Yes.
Murder on the Orient Express. Maybe people like that for Christmas now. It feels look like it was a bit Christmassy.
Yeah.
Maybe try Snowpiercer.
Maybe give Snowpiercer a go.
You know I was going with that, didn't you?
Gorgeous. Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Gorgeous Christmas film in the snow.
Lovely.
I want to watch that. She's got quite a quickie. I'd like to watch that at Christmas.
What, Snowpiercer?
Yeah.
That'd be decent, actually.
The kind of style of it was a bit Christmassy. Just in the snow.
I don't want to associate that with Christmas. Let's watch it in the new year. Let's try that.
Those dark Christmas films. You could maybe watch a Shane Black film for Christmas.
Why would you do that?
Because I think it was like 8 of 11 of Shane Black's films are set at Christmas.
Are they?
Yep. I had the list. I haven't got the list here. Lethal Weapon, you could watch. You could watch Iron Man 3 he did, which was set at Christmas as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
So you can watch one of those. Watch a Shane Black film this Christmas.
We should definitely watch Die Hard this year.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
She's never seen it,
That's
which is crazy.
terrible.
And I don't watch it every Christmas, so yeah, I'd like to watch it and make that a thing.
Let's watch that, yeah.
We'll make sure we watch Die Hard at some point, which would be nice. That's another one I always watch, Gremlins. Always watch Gremlins.
I have watched that quite a few years just because it sort of comes on, but I don't think it was ever like a thing that we watched a lot, mainly because I think it would have terrified my nephew, and he's been around since I was 14, so
yeah,
couldn't put that one on.
No.
Or the Doctor Who Christmas special, because he's scared too.
Yeah. Yeah, all Gremlins has always been one. I always have memories of Gremlins when I was a kid, because I always remember... I always remember the second one. I always remember there's a bit where one of the Gremlins is up on the church. I think it's a church. It's up really up high in the town. It used to creep me out.
Oh,
Not
really?
in like a really bad way, but like...
There's bits of it that are quite creepy, to be
terrifying.
fair. They're scary little things, yeah.
That's a
especially
great
when
one
you
for
were
Christmas.
young. That's a good one, yeah.
Never gets old.
Yeah.
Gremlins.
After Christmas. So good.
I put this is like I said about After Christmas. I was not going to say about all of these because I didn't want to just. I just want to list them. After Christmas, that's something you showed me last year.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it before, and again, I don't think a lot of people have seen After Christmas.
No. I think it did really. I read that it did really, really, really well at the box office, but now I see it so cheap
if it was
everywhere.
released,
that I feel like
it would have been at Christmas. Then yeah, it would have done great. I think because there's not much else.
It's brilliant. It's such a gorgeous film, and he voices it so well.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
You should probably say what it is. It's animated and it's about it's essentially about Christmas.
Yeah,
but
it's about them the Christmas family, mainly Arthur, shockingly enough, at Christmas, and how his dad is Santa and his brother wants to be the next Santa, and he doesn't really have any interest in doing that, but he just really cares about all the children getting their presents and loves Christmas Day and wants it all to go perfectly, and then something goes wrong and he has to...
It's definitely an animated film for adults as well, in terms of...
definitely.
For like a kid's film, it's definitely for adults as well, because I think it's not even just the like comedy, and I think the comedy is quite sort of for kids.
Clever,
I think it's the ideas.
Clever in like Pixar is clever with their adult child
it's the
comedy,
ideas.
but it's still, I love it. And it feels so Christmassy. I don't feel like many like modern films now capture that like magical feeling, and I think this really does. It's lovely. I really love it. You should definitely watch it.
We'll make sure we watch Force Awakens every year now.
We do,
it's a Christmas film because that came out around just before Christmas.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice. We've already watched that. Ready for Last Jedi, but yeah, that's quite nice to watch. I associate Star Wars with Christmas now because the thing is, present-wise, got a fucking load of Star Wars stuff that year. Yeah. And like I now associate it with Christmas because they're released in December. They have been the last 2 years and they are this year. Yeah. And because a lot of present buying, like for me and like for like looking at presents in shops and stuff, has got a lot of Star Wars stuff. Yeah. So now I kind of associate that with sort of Harry Potter a little bit because there's a lot of it's like in the winter and there's always Harry Potter
on
stuff.
At Christmas as well on TV.
Yeah.
Don't they?
There's always stuff you see in shops to buy merchandise for you.
Yeah, they're clever like that. Oh, now you associate it with Christmas. Now when you go to buy a Christmas present, you're going to...
Cheeky bastards.
They're very cheeky. Also, Miracle on 34th Street. I said the other day that I hadn't seen the original. I have seen the original, but I think it was about 10 years ago. And I think I was too young. Actually.
When was the original
I think I was too young to appreciate it. It's probably
original?
about... I think it's like 40s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a very good idea.
I love it. I love it because the story is slightly darker. Obviously, Santa's going to be put in prison.
Well, it's a bit more complex, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's an interesting concept again. I think that's
but
one of the best ones.
I love the newer one. The newer one is probably about 20 years old now. But I love it because, one, it's set in New York at Christmas, and that always feels really, really festive. And just has that, like I love it when people are wrapped up in their coats and stuff in films. That always feels really nice. I think the like Americanness of this film is similar to Home Alone.
Are we
And
talking
that
about the
always
new one or
makes
the
me
old
feel-
one?
Yeah,
now?
the new one. Yeah,
Okay.
I've seen the old one, but I don't think I liked it. I probably did like it, but I think when I watched it, I said 10 years, probably more like 20 years ago. And I don't think I appreciated it very much.
Didn't we have it on last year, Miracle on 34th Street?
I don't think we watched it last year.
We didn't watch it, I'm pretty sure, and I wasn't that interested because I think it was on half the I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
And then when we put it on this year, I was like, actually, no, this is actually quite interesting.
Yeah.
Like, again, because like you said, it doesn't feel like... Because the thing, the problem is a lot of like Christmas films, I find that not many feel like they're kind of for adults. A lot of the time they feel like they're for the family, which makes sense, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's also quite nice for when you're like us and you don't have kids.
Yeah.
And you want to watch like adult stuff, like Better Watch Out.
Yeah.
It's nice just to enjoy like an interesting Christmas
yeah,
film.
like a nicely thought out plot.
Yeah.
Is nice, yeah.
Like it can be that and based at Christmas
Yeah.
and have the both. Like Home Alone as well, but you can enjoy it as an adult. It doesn't have to be. Yeah, it's just
One
nice.
that I really like as well is Fred Claus.
Haven't watched it. I've really not watched masses.
We'll watch Fred Claus. That's a good one. Fred is Santa's brother, and his brother, because he's Santa, has always like got all the attention from his parents and stuff. And Fred has this like kind of crappy life in New York, and his brother obviously lives in the New Pole.
In the New Pole.
The New Pole.
In the New Pole. It's like a
North.
very hipstery new kind of like shopping area. Yeah, we're going to New Pole this Christmas.
Is everyone going down New Pole today? So he has to visit him for Christmas. He lends him some money and it goes a little bit wrong, and it's really good. I really like that. Vince Vaughn being totally Vince Vaughn, but
Wait, is that the one you had on the plane last year?
Yes,
Yeah.
I was watching that when I was on the plane coming to meet you in Canada.
Then you watched it when I was on the plane with you at some point.
Probably, I watched
You
it
definitely
a
did,
lot.
because I woke
I
up
watched
and you
it
were
a
watching a
lot.
Matthew Vaughn film, and I was like, what is this? I'm pretty sure that was
Vince
it.
Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. I just said Matthew Vaughn. What is it with your names today?
You're watching that Matthew Vaughn
Kingsman,
film with
yeah.
George Smiley.
Fucking hell.
Home Alone 2, not as good as Home Alone 1. It has too many birds.
Why you gotta say that? I've written here Home Alone 1, but especially Home Alone 2. Fuck 3, but especially 2, because I haven't watched 2 in years, and I remember bits of 2, like the bit when he gets electrocuted. I remember I used to find that really funny.
Did you?
Yeah, and I haven't
That's
seen Home
really
Alone 2 in
cute.
years.
So
and
you're like,
you don't want to watch it because of the birds. That's
no,
the
I will
thing.
watch it. I do like it.
And the old lady who's great, so.
She is amazing. I just don't have the same feeling when I watch that as I do the first one.
Well, maybe you can this
Nowhere
year.
near.
With Home Alone 2.
No, I watch it every year. I don't. It's not as good as the first one,
Yeah, well,
and it doesn't make me cry like the first one does. Kevin, I'm so sorry.
I'm the shittest mother in town.
They are the worst parents.
Yeah.
They're almost like the parents in Dark. Where are the
Almost
kids?
like the people
I
who
don't
make
know.
the Jurassic Parks.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
Bye, kids. Have fun with the human eating.
No, I more meant people who make the
Beasts.
parks.
Yeah,
Don't
no, I
learn their
was just
fucking
saying.
lesson.
Yeah, I know, but I was saying the parents who just sends their children off to die, basically.
Sit up, honestly. It's
What?
like you're falling asleep because you're getting really quiet. And you're like,
Not really quiet. You're really quiet.
what else is there? I'll tell you what, there is something I have really good memories of.
Yeah.
There is an animated version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the movie. It's called. I just looked it up earlier because I don't know what it was. I remember the intro to this film really well. The first 10 minutes. I don't remember the rest of the film, but I remember that much of it. And I used to love it when I was a kid.
I don't think I've ever seen that. I remember one called Robbie the Reindeer, I think.
Definitely not that.
No, I know.
Sounds dodgy as hell.
No, it was good though.
Robbie the Reindeer.
I think he wanted to be the lead reindeer or something, but he wasn't allowed.
Robbie the Reindeer.
I think it was Robbie the Reindeer. Maybe I'm wrong.
You just made that up completely.
Something like that.
I'm surprised this one you haven't mentioned yet.
What?
Grinch.
Oh, I love the Grinch.
Or Nightmare Before Christmas.
I haven't finished.
Or any of the other ones that you still have got on your list that you haven't brought up yet. Oh, gee, that clear. That's my leg. Go on then. I think I'm all out.
Yeah, Grinch is one of my favourites. And what was the other one you just said?
Nightmare Before Christmas. That didn't feel very Christmassy
That's a
to me.
Halloween-y film to me.
Yeah, it didn't
I
feel
don't
very
feel like
Christmassy.
that's a Christmas film. I
No.
watched that at Halloween.
I agree. It didn't feel very Christmassy.
No.
Any others?
Oh yeah.
Because I am all out.
No, there'll be loads more.
Well, no, but just ones that have. Just give me some interesting ones.
Oh well.
That are like just not just because you like them. Just.
Christmas Eve
Why?
every year. Muppets Christmas Carol.
I'm pretty sure we didn't have that on last year.
in the air tonight. There's magic in the air. Yeah.
After all, there's only one more sleep till Christmas.
It's pretty good. Yeah, you definitely did have it on last year.
100% did while we were making pizzas because we always put it on in the kitchen. And that is what we
Don't
did.
remember it.
Yeah.
I always go for TV specials. That's the thing. I always watch Gavin and Stacey every year.
I don't
always watch that special. I always watch quite a lot of specials. I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head now somehow. But I definitely always watch Christmas specials on TV more than I watch.
I can't think of any specials that I watch. I probably do. I can't think of any.
They were Doctor Who's because the worst episodes are the Christmas ones.
Yeah, they're always poo.
I don't know actually. Any other? Give me some more.
I know there's going to be ones after I'll be like, how did I not mention that?
I doubt it. That's massive. That's quite. We've said quite a lot. What have we watched so far?
I know, but I live for them. Oh, Elf. Elf, I love.
I don't get the appeal of that. So
Really?
I really don't like it that much.
Oh, I like Elf.
I think it just doesn't feel like one I want to watch every year because I don't know why. It doesn't grasp me as much.
Oh, fair enough. The Snowman. That's
The cartoon one.
not really a film, but
Do you
yeah.
mean the one with the creepy ass motherfucker? Or are you talking about the one that's animated?
No, like we're walking in the air. The
Oh, okay.
Snowman. Yeah.
I thought you were like, what's the one where it's? Is it Jack? No, what's the one where it's the weird ass looking snowman who looks terrifying?
What, like a man?
Yeah.
He's a man.
No, he's
What?
no.
Jack
no.
Frost. Oh.
Yeah, no, wait. No, he looks like a snowman. He's got really angry eyes. Isn't that called the snowman as well? Or is that called Jack?
Oh, Jack Frost.
Is it Jack Frost?
Yeah,
I think it's Jack
that
Frost.
I used to watch that quite a lot, but I stopped because it really upsets me.
Isn't there one who looks fucking terrible and he also melts? But isn't that the one?
Well, it's
Fuck me, it is Jack Frost. Yeah, he's fucking scary.
He dies, like the dad dies, and then he comes back to life as a snowman, and then he melts at the end, and it's devastating. It's absolutely horrible.
He is fucking looking at the picture of him here.
Do you
He
think
is
he's scary?
terrifying.
Let me see.
I'm trying to find a good picture. Look at that fucker.
Oh no,
He's
he's
like
really...
he'd put you in a freezer until you look like him.
he
He is fucking terrifying.
he also has the voice of Michael Keaton, so it's
I was gonna
not
say, is it Michael Keaton?
it's not really scary.
Oh god, no, he looks terrifying. Oh god, no.
Oh, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, another one.
Oh,
I
that is
like.
Christmas then, yeah.
Love
I love that.
Actually. How did I not think of Love
I was
Actually?
going to say, if you know.
Love Actually. I do like.
I still watch Love Actually. And
I know you don't.
Planes, Trains and Automobiles.
Oh,
is
and The
awesome.
Holiday. I
I'd
love The
class
Holiday.
that as a Christmas film. I completely
What?
forgot about that. Planes,
What?
Trains and Automobiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. We should watch that this year as well then. Should we leave it there for that?
Yeah.
Got any others?
Yeah.
Alright. Would you
Apart from
give
The
me your
Holiday.
reviews for all of them? Give me your scores.
What?
Fuck that. What's the time for?
News.
You coughed in time with the. What
What's
you
the
usually say.
time News.
Nice.
It was a bit rubbish this week. My news.
What your thing?
News.
First bit of news. Let's go with some trailers. We've had quite a few this week.
Yeah.
First, we have Alita Battle Angel, which is James Cameron's new film.
What? Oh right.
Alita
Yeah.
Battle Angel.
It said Alita.
And I've just found out as well.
Yeah.
I was right. Everyone's tearing into it because of her fucking
Oh, it
eyes.
is because of her eyes.
Yeah.
I don't see the problem with that though. She's not.
They do look stupid. They look. I know she's not real, but like they look. It looks like really bad CGI job. It kind of. They're taking the piss out of it just because she's giving her anime eyes.
I don't have a problem with it though because that's how she's been designed.
But why would she be designed like that? That's
Why
more
not?
the thing. Why would you give her giant eyes?
But why would you
'Cause
give her
none of the
like
others
joins
do.
in her arms?
And give her what?
She's got like weird joins and like really strange like
So
indents
she's been
all
made
up her
that's
arms.
connecting her.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but no one else had giant eyes, do they? None of the other robots.
have they all been made then?
Huh?
Have they all been made?
What do you mean all of them? Well, the guy with the fucking who looked like a weird steampunk character, like had.
Maybe I just don't know enough about it. 'Cause I don't really know what the story is.
God knows. The other characters they didn't have giant eyes that were definitely robots. Like the one with weird
right.
like colours that look kind of, I think it's cyberpunky,
Oh right.
was probably a robot. I think because a lot of them had giant, but they didn't have massive eyes like her.
No.
It just looks really strange. It
Has
does look
someone just
pictures.
made her then? I don't know
I
what.
don't know because we don't know. That's the first trailer for it.
Oh, right, okay.
It's only just been revealed the last few days, but everyone's
Yeah.
just taking the piss out of it because it looks crazy. And I agree, it does look
Yeah.
crazy. Unless they're going to give like a background or like mention the fact that her eyes are like that,
Yeah.
it does look quite funny. It just
Yeah,
doesn't look
I
right.
don't-
It just looks like a weird. It looks like a game. Like so it looks like a video game, but it doesn't look like a.
I think the film
It's strange.
looks crap, but what I don't get is if people were tearing into it because of her eyes, because well, that's fine if you don't like the design of that character, but I don't understand why people would be tearing into the film
Because it looks funny, and people don't like James Cameron because what he said about Wonder Woman,
Mm,
and it's the whole idea that they give them big anime eyes.
mm.
It just
Yeah.
looks. It does look ridiculous. I mean, when we said about watching, if I can guess that they're taking the piss out of the eyes, there's obviously something wrong with the eyes. Because I said to him, I have no idea why people are tearing into this. I just saw about it. Then the minute we put the trailer on, I was like, it's because of her eyes.
Yeah.
Because they look fucking crazy.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the story is.
You're not gonna take it. You're not gonna take it seriously, though, are you? They look like when it just doesn't look right.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't know, because if someone's just like, oh, I'm just gonna like design this robot, and that's how she's been designed, I
Well,
don't
that's
see
what
the
I'm-
problem.
Because it looks ridiculous. Well, it's like putting it. Okay, but then why? But why would you? But then it's like
If it was
saying,
a
like,
real girl and they'd CGI'd her eyes like that, I'd be like, that's
But she looks like a
silly.
real girl, other than.
But she's got like joins all up her arms and like
What do you mean
weird
joins?
like
Are you
you
saying
can see
drawings? Or are you saying joint?
joins.
What do you mean joins?
Like you can see where her arms join together, and
That's because
she's
she's
got
built.
like
That's what I'm saying.
I know,
That's
but she's
because-
got like patterns all over them as well.
But that's like a. But she doesn't have like free arms or like she doesn't have weird body part. Everything looks normal, like a body part, other than her eyes look massive.
Her arms don't know.
Why
They've
don't
got
they?
like weird like
No, but like they're not physically different, are they? They're just they
yeah.
have. I
They're
swear
like
they didn't.
white and they had like drawings all over them. Not drawings, but like it looked like
Oh, I
like-
actually typed in
like
battle angle.
like engraved arms. That's why.
Oh, she is okay, this is based on by the looks of it, it looks like it's based on by manga. It looks like it's based on manga.
Oh, well then what's the issue?
Well, that's even worse then.
Why?
Because it's just because again it kind of looks like whitewashing. Well, her arms okay, but her arms
Oh.
look robotic. They don't. I mean, what I mean is, look, the shape is normal. They're not like
Mm.
they haven't given her extra fingers or anything like that to make her look different.
No.
She looks human. I'm just saying, like, they've just given her giant eyes, and no one else is giant. And like I said, I know you said no one else is giant. I'm gonna look at. I wonder if it's got anything else. Okay. Oh, it's it's an anime.
Mm.
But the difference is, like, yes, she has giant eyes in it because it's anime style, but so does, in these pictures, so does everyone else because it's the style of the anime.
Yeah.
Whereas in this trailer,
Yeah.
she is the only one with giant eyes.
Yeah.
With giant anime eyes. No
Oh,
one else
okay.
has them. He's a fucking idiot anyway, isn't he? No one likes him. I think
Fair
he's
enough.
pissed off. I think he did Avatar, so he's lost. It's just, it's just
Yeah.
downwards. It's a shame, isn't it? Like, with that, and then Ridley Scott, like, again, like, he's done some alright stuff, but he's just taking Alien down the, like, shitter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about down the shitter, next one, Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom trailer come out.
Oh.
That wasn't a good reaction.
Well, I want it to be good, and it is just obviously not.
I did not like first Jurassic
Well,
World
neither did
at all,
I. I'm
no.
just saying that's why I wanted the second one to be decent, but it's not. I
It's
don't
going to be
know.
more interesting, but this looks like, again, it just looks like something they've done really stupid. Oh, there's a volcano, we need to get more off Earth. Why the fuck did you put on an island with a volcano?
Yeah.
If you've got the science to make dinosaurs, do everything you do in the last film and track them and all kinds of things, how did you not realise you're on an island with a fucking volcano?
Maybe they realised and they thought it was just gonna be that it was dead. What's the word when it doesn't explode anymore?
I've forgotten what it's
Not
called now.
dormant. There's something else. Anyway,
I don't remember.
maybe
Yeah, they thought it was a dead volcano,
Yeah.
but I think they would have the science to know it wasn't, because I'm pretty sure we have the science now to...
Yeah, I think they
figure
get it
that out.
wrong sometimes. But anyway, yeah, it's stupid.
Maybe they can explain it away, but it just looked really strange. And the bit in the trailer of them running away from the volcano
Mm.
and shows all the dinosaurs going in the water. It's about getting them off the island, but if you're seeing them all from the water, they're surely not going to survive that, so you know they're all going to die, a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's a weird bit to show for the trailer. I know it's trying to make... It just feels like it's action again, doesn't it? I know it's...
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's going to be smart. It's just going to be a big blockbuster
And it also
because the
just
first one
looks
did
like,
so well.
look at all the different dinosaurs that we've created.
Yeah.
There's like one of each. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It didn't look in the trailer like they were running in packs.
No.
It looked like there's a
Just
Diplodocus.
weird the things they're
there's
making
a
a thing out
T-Rex.
of.
There's a
Yeah. They look stupid running together.
yeah.
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 They focused on weird things with it, didn't
Chris
they?
Pratt looks weird as well.
He just got loads of makeup on, like you said.
Yeah, he looks like a puppet. There's one particular shot that we paused it on, and he just looked like he was wearing all the makeup. It looks so funny.
And there's a weird focus like the fact that he raised the raptor, and it's like you raised him. It's about Blue, as in the raptor called Blue, and he's got obvious blue stripes down him. Why is the T-Rex? Why is the main T-Rex on their side, not the one that obviously the main one died in the last one, but what this normal T-Rex with the scratches? Why are they on? Why is he on the human side?
I don't know, and I just really hate whenever someone raises something in something that has a really obvious like distinguishing mark. You know,
has blue stripes down
definitely that one.
He's called Blue, and he's got blue stripes
Yeah,
down him to prove that he's blue, and you would never get him mixed up with another dinosaur.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's very, very annoying. But anyway.
When they said about, you raised him, they showed him as a baby and him raising him. In a trailer, it was holding hands. Hopefully it's better than the first, but I don't think it's going to be great. And last trailer?
Yeah.
Ready Player One had another trailer.
Oh, yes.
Which we watched on my phone, which was not a good idea.
No.
Because we pretty missed out on everything exciting about that trailer.
Yeah, it looked like a different film.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah. I did not feel as excited for it watching that trailer as I did the first
one. Oh, I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to watch some rewinds of that trailer. See what we're missing, all the Easter eggs, we'll know all the stuff.
The problem is, though, when we watched like other people's and they were saying, this was in it, this was in it, this was in it. I don't know about you. I'm sure you got more than I did, but I know that you didn't know like quite a lot of the references in there.
What do you mean?
Like when they were saying, this was in it, that was in it, like this character, that
quite
character.
a lot. I mean, it wasn't.
I didn't know. I didn't know a lot of them.
I haven't seen. I mean, you had the bike from Akira, but I haven't seen Akira. But I knew it was the bike from it when they said it. Because I know what Akira. Well, I saw it in there, but then also when they said about, it, I was like, okay, then it definitely is that. And I know because I've seen a lot of Akira stuff. Yeah. Obviously, like the Halo rifle. A lot of it's video game stuff. So obviously, I recognise a lot of that. I want
to be cool and say like, oh my god, yeah, there's so much in it. If no one had told me, I probably wouldn't have realised.
I missed a lot. I'll be honest. I missed all of it until I watched the re-ones when they're like, it's the assault rifle from Halo. I'm obviously going to recognise that. But I didn't see it in the trailer until they showed it back. Yeah. Because there was so much going on in that first trailer. But I want to watch the re-ones of this one.
Yeah.
That's all the trailers. Yeah, I want to watch the trailer again. I don't know what this film's going to be like. I feel like it's just going to be a clusterfuck of Easter eggs, and I'm not sure if it's going to go anywhere with it. No. Again, it'll probably be one of those things like, it's not as good as the book kind of style.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a brave one to do for a film when you've got that much content and that many that many iconic things in it. That's going to be a hard one.
You're going to pull in a lot of fanboys though, and a lot of video game fans.
Oh so, yeah.
It's a money maker.
I think it would be great if you recognise like most of the references, then I think you'll enjoy it a lot more. But I'm not gonna recognise a lot. I'm sure, even though I know like what some of them are, I wouldn't just see them the first time.
Yeah, it'd be really hard unless you're giving us a fucking breakdown of the whole film. We're gonna say, I get what you mean. If you can't see the trailer, it's gonna be good luck seeing it.
It's just gonna be what the film is, and I don't know how good the film is gonna be on its own if you don't know all the references.
Yeah.
We'll see.
There's always reference to everything about Lord of the Rings, isn't there? There's always something to do with Lord of the Rings. And anything where there's loads of references to other like cult stuff, there's always Lord of the Rings.
It's true.
Like there was Gandalf in this trailer. I'm pretty sure they said dancing in the skulls. I did not see that, but honestly,
and a lot of it will just because it's too quick. But even if it is very obvious, I'm sure I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I didn't realise. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It might be good.
I've a bit of news.
Yeah.
Some more geeky stuff. They've said a bit more about the Dark Phoenix film for X-Men. It's going to be set in space. Yes. It sounds very Fantastic Four.
Because
they're going to space and they get in there, or she will get the Phoenix inside of her, as in Jean Grey will get the Phoenix. That sounded dirty as
fuck. That sounded terrible.
Get the Phoenix inside of her.
Yeah.
Will come from space.
Yeah.
It's also going to be. They said about it being like the darkest one, or being darker than most X-Men film, which just seems what they're trying to do in their films. And they're trying to make it a bit more mature, which I'm fine with. To be fair, if you give me more stuff like Deadpool and Logan,
I was going to say, I want that, but I feel like they're not going to properly do it, and they're just trying to pass it off as like, ooh, it's so dark.
Yeah. What the fuck is this?
Better watch out. It's dark. What?
I've got a fucking rip in the front.
You've got a hole in your jeans.
Where has this come from? No.
Your jeans are falling off your body.
What are the bollocks? That's upsetting. Right on the knee.
Right up.
What?
I thought you said right on the nose. No. And they said knee, and I went, oh.
Alright. Last bit of news.
Yeah.
Golden Globe nominations have been revealed.
Yeah.
I want to put the most interesting stuff of this. The stuff that I've heard. And it really annoys me. For Best Drama Series.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. Understandable.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Fuck Right Off. How were they competing for the same award?
don't know.
There's been a lot of good stuff this year.
If it was the first series, I'm fine.
But there's a lot of stuff on Netflix this
The
year.
thing is
Drama
that-
series.
yeah,
Why is Dark?
yeah.
Dark. Mindhunter we haven't watched yet, but I'm
That-
sure that'll be something that should be out there.
That looks very good, actually. We've only watched the first episode. Yeah, if it was Game of Thrones last series, I'd be like, no, fuck right off.
Yeah. But
And if it had been Stranger Things last series, I would have been like, I get that.
But this year,
But this year I
Latest
get Game of Thrones.
series,
I
yes.
don't get the Stranger Things thing.
no, not at all.
No.
It's yeah, I did not. Again,
It felt
that
really
series,
like, do you know what I mean? But it felt, the first one felt sort of really gritty and like kind of, I don't know, just a bit rough and
it
ready.
didn't feel
Where
as polished. as
no,
what
whereas
it
this one
felt.
feels like really shiny and plasticky.
Yeah, I do completely agree. It's just funny they were up for the same awards. Like, they do not compare whatsoever. I just again, it's just a hype thing because Stranger Things poop.
Yeah.
Dark should have been there above Stranger Things
Yeah.
because that was this year,
And
and
I
it's
don't-
still a drama.
Yeah, and I don't think any of them had like a good character arc that you could go, oh, okay, well, even if the series wasn't that bad, like it was really cool to like see how that character developed or something. But there was
Yeah.
just nothing to know.
The Punisher should have been in
Should have
there
been.
above Stranger Things. A lot
Definitely
should be.
in there.
Also,
Yeah.
saw something about Best Animated Feature. Boss Baby is up for a nomination for that.
Yeah.
That has been notoriously the piss taken out of that. Like The
Honestly.
Room, because it's horrendous and it's weird.
Really? People
Not
are taking the mick out of that?
Yeah, people are taking the mick content of Boss Baby. I keep hearing stuff about it, especially when it came out, because it's such a poop.
Oh, I
Hang
didn't
on.
know that. All I've heard is how much people love Boss Baby.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
then some people did. But again, I did just look at a list of animated films this
absolutely
year.
smashed it at the box office as well, didn't it? Like, it was nuts.
Yeah.
What did it come out near? And it was, oh, was it Beauty and the Beast? And it like well overdid Beauty and the Beast.
Can't remember.
It was so
What else?
popular.
There's not been much this year animated to like. I said Cars 3
No.
wasn't up for nomination.
No.
Coco is. That's obviously going to win because it's
Yeah.
Disney. And only Cuba, I'm pretty sure didn't win. I don't know if I won I think I won a Golden Globe this year, but it didn't do anything at the Oscars, which fucked me off.
Kubo.
Yeah. Red Turtle was released this year. I think I was out this year. I think Your Name was this year. It definitely was.
Yeah.
That Your Name should fucking win it
We
over.
haven't seen Red Turtle.
No, but I guarantee it's going to be better than the
Well, yeah. Well,
animated films. Yeah, Your Name was this year. That should
Yeah.
fucking. That would smash that easily.
yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
And the last thing I was going to say about the nominations was that Get Out was getting quite a lot of recognition.
Good.
I think it won Best Picture and some other awards the
Yeah.
last day, and it's up for Best Comedy, as is The Disaster Artist, but yeah, it's up for
Very
Best
well deserved
Comedy
from Get Out.
or Musical. We're
It's
putting
fun.
comedy or musical in the same category. Genius.
It's very annoying. I've always thought that.
Yeah, if it's a comedy, it's a musical. Yeah,
Well,
that
there's
was interesting.
Just they're
Yeah.
nothing alike. It's like saying best thriller or rom-com.
Animate.
What?
Animated.
They're just not the same.
Yeah. Yeah. That
Do
is
you know what
it.
I'd really love?
What?
A really, really dark musical. And I don't mean like Sweeney Todd,
That's
that
literally
kind
what
of
popped in
thing.
my head when you said that.
but I just mean like a modern murder musical. I'd really like that.
Modern murder.
With
musical.
with some really excellent songs and like really
It's hard probably to do
amazing-
dark songs without coming across camp.
and like musicians. Camp? In what
Well,
way?
not camp, but what kind of is.
No, I mean if you did like some really good, like got some really world famous, excellent musicians and wrote some kick-ass songs. And
Isn't
did, like,
a lot
dark-
of old horror kind of musical?
I don't mean like a musical like La. I mean like a good.
But it kind of has to be. If you're singing, sure, if you're singing songs while you're doing stuff in a film, it's going to always feel quite.
But don't think of like La La Land or something. I mean,
I'm not.
think
I'm
of
sure
someone
if you find
like.
any film where they sing a song and it's
Yeah.
where the characters sing songs, it's always kind of going to take away from being scary because they're singing songs.
Yeah.
Unless you go quite in creative with it and go like Swiss Army Man
Yeah.
and make sounds instead of songs
Yeah, but
a lot.
that's what I mean. Like create some like genuinely good music.
Would you count it as a musical? They sing in it and they have a
They
lot of
sing
songs.
quite a
Maybe
lot,
it is. I
yeah.
would class that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it be classed as a musical, but that is a musical,
Yeah.
surely, because they sing
Yeah,
the
I would
songs
say
and
so.
they're singing it in the
It's
film.
Manchester Orchestra, isn't it? See, excellent musicians.
Was that this year?
That was
Last year. Yeah, but it came out. Yeah, it must have been last year. I was gonna say that should have been.
We
out
didn't do
this year.
Swiss Army Man in this. Did Swiss Army Man.
In this. No, it's fucking ages before.
I know, I got confused. Swiss Army Man is amazing.
The first
go and
reviews
watch
we
it.
ever did are only just coming out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
The first films we ever did,
Yeah.
which just feels strange.
Back in the day. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
all our news and that's all our podcasting. So don't be
Was,
sad. We'll be back next
A lot
week.
this week. We've gone over it really quick. Next week is
Yeah.
exciting because we're doing
Exciting.
Star Wars Last Jedi.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's going to
Star
take up a whole.
Trek's out next week. We're really excited.
Can't wait to see Boo Chaka and
Yeah.
C3D2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll take up the whole of
Raymond.
next week. Who did you say?
Raymond. Hand.
Moonrunner.
Hand still in it, right?
Hand double. Whoa! Yeah, that'll be next week. And then it'll be our last week after that.
Yeah.
And we might be doing something very special for our last
Yeah.
week. We might record ourselves.
Oh my god, you
I
can
mean,
see our faces and none of you know
images, yeah.
what we look like.
Should we like make ourselves look really fucking weird?
Yeah.
Put fake blood on our faces, and
Why would we put fake blood on our faces?
so people call the police and we get more views because everyone will be like, look at these two creeps. This is what they were doing before they murdered that person,
That's
and then
actually
they
a
go
really
watch
good
on our
idea.
podcast.
Okay, let's do it. Let's cut this bit out though, because then no one will know what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be like, they're just faking.
I'm a genius.
It's a good idea.
I'm such a genius. All right, and then that'll be our last week. We're going to be doing the best. Well, our own because fuck the other awards. We're doing our own awards for this year. A year for film.
Yeah. And then we're gonna
Maybe a TV
Make our
couple
own
TV
film.
categories.
put about $6 million into it.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, that'd be so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can they find us?
They can find us. Why don't you tell them where they can find us?
You can find me.
I do
You
it wrong
always
every
mess
week.
it up.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Why don't you do it?
You can find us under Wide-Eyed Runners.
Yeah.
Wide-eyed is one word, but there is an E for the eyed. There's an E for the eye. There's
Oh
a
my
capital
God.
E for the I. See, I messed up as well.
You know this.
Wide-eyed space
Capital
runners.
W,
It doesn't
capital
really
U,
matter.
R, capital U.
You messed it again, you did.
No, I was doing it on purpose,
Wide-eyed
but I
runners.
accidentally said capital U.
If you find that, you find us. It's all linked
Yeah.
to this anyway.
Just click
or
on this
what
and
we
then
call
you
us.
click on it.
YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
What are we calling us?
What are we calling ourselves again? I've forgotten.
What are we calling this?
You can find us on Twitter and Facebook and join our groups and
Yeah.
join and like our pages and do all that kind of shit because we could do with it. Please,
Yes.
thank you very much.
Yeah, if you liked this, or if you've listened at this point, please give us a like, or a share, or a follow. Just help us out.
Or a nice, lovely comment like we had
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
Fuck you, you fuck bitches,
Yeah, you-
and your fuck
yeah,
review.
Yeah,
That'd be
and
lovely.
your Blade Runner
Fuck review.
fucking love
Love
Blade Runner
child.
idiots.
All right, goodbye everybody.
Yeah.
It's been nice knowing you. Until next week.
I did not.
I did not.